Today, we're checking into the world of high-end hotels, where, let me tell you, the very definition of luxury is going through a massive transformation. The old rulebook, the one with gold taps and giant chandeliers, it's being completely rewritten. So let's unpack what it truly means to be a five-star destination today. It really all boils down to this one question, right? Because today's traveler, you're not just looking for a soft pillow. You're looking for a clear conscience, a real personal connection. Those old answers, just sheer opulence and excess, they just don't cut it anymore. And this slide just lays it all out perfectly. Look at that shift. We're moving away from a world of kind of cold, impersonal excess to one that's all about purpose, responsibility, and these deeply personal experiences. It's a huge change in what we actually value. So, okay, let's start with why this is all happening. The traditional top-down model of luxury is frankly just not competitive anymore. It's facing a whole bunch of new challenges that are forcing a pretty simple choice. You either adapt or you get left behind. And what's really wild here is just how wide the competition is now. I mean, it's not just hotel versus hotel anymore. A luxury stay now has to compete with curated Airbnb experiences, those amazing destination restaurants, and bespoke travel companies. This crowded market is basically forcing hotels to get creative and innovate way beyond just offering a nice room. All right, now let's dig into the first major driver of this change, what we're calling the green revolution. And trust me, this isn't just some passing trend. It's a complete reshaping of the entire guest experience, all built around environmental and social responsibility. So, what do we actually mean by sustainable hospitality? Well, it's really about looking at the whole picture. It's everything from the materials they use to build the hotel to making sure every single employee gets fair wages and treatment. The whole goal is to maximize the good stuff and, minimize the bad. And the reason this is so incredibly important is that, historically, hotels have been massive consumers of resources. I mean, think about it. To deliver that top-tier luxury, they use enormous amounts of energy and water, and they produce a ton of waste. That model just isn't going to fly anymore. But here's the good news. The industry is really responding with actual, tangible solutions. We're talking about everything from huge solar panel installations to something as simple but still super impactful as just sourcing vegetables from local farms. Every single one of these steps makes a real difference. Of course, this green transformation isn't free, not even close. It requires a pretty significant upfront investment. And that can be a major hurdle for hotel owners, especially after the economic shocks we've seen in recent years. To put a number on it, take a look at this. For a smaller hotel, the initial investment to get these green systems up and running can be around $1.7 million. For an independent owner, wow, that is a serious commitment. And now for a larger hotel, that initial number might look lower, around $882,000. But that's often just the first step. When you're overhauling their much larger, more complex systems, the total bill can climb way, way higher. The scale of this financial shift is just massive. It also goes way beyond the hotel walls. Sustainable sourcing is absolutely key. It's basically a three-step playbook. First, you vet your suppliers. Then, you make sure your own buying policies are ethical. And finally, you actively help those suppliers improve their own green credentials. It's all about creating a sustainable ecosystem. And this brings us to such a critical point. You can install all the solar panels you want, but as this quote says so powerfully, true sustainability starts with people. If your staff isn't motivated, well-treated, and properly trained, the whole system just falls apart. Fair wages and employee well-being are right at the center of this new luxury. Next up, our second pillar of change, technology. But hold on, we're not just talking about robot butlers here. The real revolution is in using data and AI to create a stay that feels like it was designed just for you. But here's the reality check. While the marketing team is dreaming up these amazing ways to use AI to build deep, personal relationships, the IT team is often still just struggling with basic data problems. There's this fascinating tug-of-war happening behind the scenes between the big ambition and the day-to-day execution. So, to succeed today, modern hotels have a totally new mandate. They have to be agile, they've got to get creative with data, invest heavily in their staff, and, this is the big one, focus on building genuine relationships, moving way beyond that old transactional points-for-stays model. And that brings us to our final pillar of this transformation. It's the idea that the most valuable thing a hotel can offer isn't a physical product, but an unforgettable experience. What you do, that's the new luxury. This perfectly captures the evolution of loyalty, doesn't it? It's not just about that transactional process of collecting points anymore. Now, it's about the hotel knowing you, understanding your interests, and building a real relationship that makes you want to come back for the connection, not just for the discount.
So, what actually makes for a great experience? Well, it's a blend of these key ingredients. Yeah, the design and the food matter, of course, but it all comes back to that personalized service and that intangible feeling of being genuinely valued as a person, not just a room number.
And this is where it all ties together so beautifully. Sustainability is no longer some behind the scenes operational detail. It's now a core part of the guest experience itself. People want to indulge, but they also want to feel good about their choices, and responsible luxury lets them do both.
So, where is all this headed? By combining these powerful trends, sustainability, personalization, and experience, we can start to get a really clear picture of what the hotel of the very near future is going to look and feel like.
By 2030, you can expect to see three major trends just explode. On one end, you'll have these incredible all-in-one mega resorts. On the other, a huge push for hyperlocal experiences that connect you deeply with the place you're visiting. And tying it all together will be architecture that is an experience in and of itself.
Look, if you take one thing away from all this, let it be this. The future of luxury hospitality isn't about choosing between being fancy and being responsible. It's about expertly blending the two together.
Which leaves us with a final thought to mull over. In this new era, is the greatest luxury not the gold you can see, but the seamless technology, the fair treatment of the staff, and the clean energy that you can't? It's something to think about on your next trip. Thanks so much for tuning in.